Am I the butthole for telling my sister's friend not everyone is rich and privileged like her when it comes to weddings? Most people think I should have kept my mouth shut. I will let you, the strangers of Reddit, decide. My sister, 29 female, got engaged to her fiancé P, 34, 9 years ago. They are still engaged and going really strong. The reason why they didn't have a wedding is because both of them spent whatever they inherited and saved up to pay their loan for college and had to start fresh. They didn't have a problem with that, and neither did my parents. It was their money and they decided how they wanted to spend it. My sister wanted a big wedding, but things didn't go according to plan them. Her fiancé was diagnosed with cancer, and whatever they were making, they were spending it on his medical bills and rent. Now, they have decided they want a small wedding sometimes around next year. My sister's friend, who got engaged last week, invited me and her to her small COVID-safe party, and when she addressed the crowd, half of her speech was about my sister. She called my sister poor, dumb and not driven, indirectly, because she is now settling for a small wedding. She implied all these things and everyone in the crowd understood. The rest of the party was awkward, and while I was talking to some other people, I saw my sister coming out of the bathroom and she had been crying. I asked her and she confirmed it was about what her friend had said. Before leaving the party, I went up to her friend and told her because she had a trust fund and rich parents helping her throughout her life, she didn't essentially have to lift a finger to survive, graduated college 7-8 years ago and still doesn't have a job. I told her my sister was a fighter and that she was so much braver and smarter than she will ever be, and left. She apparently cried to her friends and I got some colorful text messages, but I don't care. It's when my sister's boyfriend and my other brother told me that I should have kept my mouth shut, I am having second thoughts. My sister is grateful I stood up for her, but also thinks I took it too far. AITA? My sister's friend, who got engaged last week, invited me and her to her small COVID-safe party, and when she addressed the crowd, half of her speech was about my sister. WTF? I told her my sister was a fighter and that she was so much braver and smarter than she will ever be, and left. Good for you. NTA. That friend is not a friend. Sister needs to drop her. What a nasty person. Exactly. I was going to say this. Just don't be in contact with toxic people like this. She should drop the boyfriend as well. If he felt original post shouldn't stand up for their sister. I don't see a problem with someone insulting you in public. Your sister shouldn't have said anything to defend you. Would see me seriously reconsidering that engagement. You mean consider? She shouldn't just drop him over this on incident, but should be cautious because he may not back her up next time. What? No, this is Reddit. Dump the boyfriend over one little thing. Not a little thing though. It's not a little thing, I agree, but if he's sick he may just not want to use his energy to be angry and fight with people. Right? That's what I love about this sub. It's never have a conversation, be an adult. Often on this sub also, Redditor, he never cooks, never take care of the kids. When I told him I don't like that his mother insults me, he punched the wall. Most commenters, girl, pack your things and go. Commenters like you, have tried talking to him? Dude, that is not a fair comparison because no one in their right mind would say talk to him. But if it is a situation like this where the boyfriend didn't stand up for the girl once, she should talk to him about why, and if he still doesn't stand up for her, then she should pack her things. But in this case, he didn't just stand up for his fiancée, and himself indirectly, he also told his fiancée's sibling that they were wrong to stand up. That goes beyond I didn't know how to react, I'll be more careful next time. This is never about what was said or done, but what's behind it. You know the text, she divorced me because I left dishes in the sink? It's not about the dishes, it's about the lack of care and consideration. This is obviously assuming boyfriend refers to the boyfriend and not best friend. Exactly. BF has shown he's weak and disloyal. In moments like these a man's character shines through or it doesn't. I know for a fact that if someone had said something mean or cruel, that I didn't deserve, about me so publicly, I would be mortified and ashamed. This was an attack by her friend. And if no one says anything, it's like they are all condoning her or don't care. It shows me that my boyfriend/husband cares about me, even on just a human level, enough to say that was uncalled for, etc. Hell, my brother would do exactly what this guy, gal, did. I know my ex would have too, because he did call out certain people for being rude to me. Guys who truly love their girl won't stand anyone mistreating them, no matter who it is, where it happened, etc. If he just avoids it or acts like it was no big deal. Tells me he won't stand up for or protect me. I'm curious, what justification could there be for telling off Op? It would be one thing if he'd been avoidant of conflict and just didn't say anything himself, but he was comfortable enough with conflict to tell original post they were wrong. I can't really imagine a situation where that's not crafty. Talking doesn't solve an avoidant personality types. Speaking from experience, I agree. And I honestly wish that I just dropped the people like typical Reddit. I disagree. It sounds like the fiancé just thought original post went a step too far in insulting the friend publicly at her wedding. That doesn't mean he wouldn't stand up for Op's sister. Don't make claims like that. It was not her wedding, just a party from what I understood. Excuse me, you're right. Still, some people balk at the idea of insulting someone who has already insulted you, taking the high ground, but will absolutely stand up when they're so is being insulted. These things are not mutually exclusive. Basically, the difference between don't say that my sister is lazy when she's the most driven and hardworking person I know. Just because life dealt her a rough hand doesn't make her lazy, and you should know that. And don't say that my sister is lazy when she's the most driven and hardworking person I know. Just because life dealt her a rough hand doesn't make her lazy, and you're one to talk about being lazy. Your parents pay for everything you do. You don't even have a job or pay your own bills. Your parents' trust fund does. You're just a leech on society, and calling my sister lazy just because she doesn't have an absolutely abhorrent lifestyle like yours is disgraceful. Also, side note, these are examples using Op's story as inspiration to stay on theme and should not be seen as exactly what original post said in this instance. Not to mention that stopping to this person's level could make things inherently worse for the sister. People like this can lash out when they feel wronged. This friend sounds narcissistic, and these can be very dangerous people to push. I have known narcissistic people go so far as to ruin people's jobs and lives even after being cut off when insulted publicly like this. Yes, first instinct is to defend those we love. But doing it in the way that original post did is not always the best or even safest choice. The better choice would have been picking the sister up, pushing her upward and forward, giving her a needed emotional boost, and being there and supporting her as she cuts ties with toxic people, rather than potentially painting a larger target on her back. Because it's obvious this girl does not give one lick about publicly hurting or shaming people, and in the age of the internet, things can go bad very fast. You do realize that boyfriend also means best friend, right? Also pretty sure original post would have said fiancé if she was talking about her sister's partner. She said they'd been engaged for like 9 years, but kept putting off the wedding because of financial hardship, and oh yeah, cancer. He's her fiancé, end of story. That's how I read it, too. I read boyfriend as best friend, not fiancé. I think she needs a new best friend. NTA. NTA. That person is not a friend. She wants to attack your sister verbally because they had bills, they had to get jobs, and they had to pay for medical treatments. Shame on her. She is more than the butthole, she is the biggest butthole I've seen this week. She is the butthole of buttholes. Ruler of assholeria, on the planet Uranus. Seriously, what is wrong with that woman? For the friends sending you nasty texts, those are not friends either. Cut them off like you do for any other overly toxic person. Agreed. To insult a friend like that deserves far more than the admonishment original post gave. Totally not the butthole. She's not a friend. She's just an Your sister is the real fighter, and even if she doesn't get the wedding of her dreams, she still has the love of her life to spend her life with. This friend, on other hand, will probably be divorced after 2 or 3 kids cause husband will not take her BS anymore. I am a little disappointed in the BF for saying that original post was wrong when Op's sister was grateful. Agree. The friend is a petty Betty and needs to be petty somewhere else. Man, when it comes to sisters defending each other, that's the nicest this girl could have hoped for. I thought original post was going to say she announced to the whole party how materialistic and shallow this gal is and how she never earned anything for herself. NTA, good for you defending your sister. Let this other girl cry. She's not a real friend to you or your sister. I once ripped a bridal consultant a new butthole because she made my sister, the bride, cry. She kept pulling dresses for my sister to try on that were well below her size and not at all in the styles my sister requested. She was told at the beginning not to bring us dresses that were too small, which I know can be common practice and they clip it to make it fit or whatever. I was still polite, but no one messes with my sister. Actually, it's not common at all to bring out dresses that are too small. There'd be nothing to clip. What is common is bringing out dresses that are larger so there is extra material to clip and have tailored. Well, this is what she told us, that despite my sister being an average dress-sized woman, they don't always carry her size in bridal stores and so they'd put her in whatever they had just to try on. We explicitly told her not to bring us smaller sized dresses. My sister is tall and we are a wide-ish hipped family. She didn't listen and kept trying to stuff my sister into dresses she couldn't get up past her hips. She didn't listen, made my sister cry, because how awful does it feel to not fit into any dress that this girl tried to put on her, and so she felt my wrath as soon as my sister was outside of the shop. It just makes the salesperson TA or really lacking in that particular aspect of intelligence a terrible salesperson no matter the reason. Good for you, for standing up for your sister. What an awful experience for her. I'm convinced that half of all wedding dress consultants/shop owners are bitter and jaded, and should quit their shop and find new jobs. When I was shopping for my wedding dress, I met numerous consultants who were absolute jerks, and seemed to enjoy insulting the bride for no reason. It made shopping for a dress much less enjoyable. My consultant only brought me dresses that were too small. I'm overweight, but hover at the low end of plus, and the high end of regular. They should have had some bigger dresses. Lots of brides are overweight. I ended up buying a dress that was held in front of me, and fortunately, when I received it, I loved it. Lol was the bridal consultant? Web link. I've only seen consultants bring out too small dresses when the bride is on the cusp of sizes or it's a size down from what the bride needs but her actual size isn't in stock. I'd ask for a new consultant so fast if they kept bringing out too small dresses without clarifying we can get your size ordered, but we don't have any at the store right now and this is the closest we can get without you swimming in the dress. Right, we experienced that too at a different ship, but when we arrived we told our consultant do not bring us small dresses. If you don't have the one she's looking at in her size then don't worry about it. We had been bridal shopping a couple of times already and my sister wasn't finding anything that felt right and she was getting discouraged. The manager offered us a new appointment before we left to come back and have the manager herself be our consultant. She even offered more sample dresses in my sister's size to have in the store. So true. If it had been my little sister defending me or one of my other sisters, crap probably would have gotten crazy nasty, and fast. That girl was thrown down. She's the total protector of the family. Yeah, had original post made a speech in front of the entire party, I would have maybe considered an E/S/H rating. But from what original post said, it sounded like they spoke to the friend in private and weren't actually all that mean in what they said, just honest. Not the butthole on this one. Yup. My baby sister and I don't get along super well, but she would have gotten violent. Who the hell compares themselves to someone else in their engagement party? Looks like that friend wasn't a friend from the start. Somebody whose insecurity about their lack of personal achievement has become part of their identity, I'd guess. Unfortunate, but trying to gas yourself up at a friend's expense because of it is just pathetic. Not the butthole. WTF? Her sister is that loser friend she uses to feel good about herself and her achievements. The more screwed she is, more happy the bride is to be in a good position in life. Her friends are like her too. Time for her first friend purge. Deep down, the friend probably knows that Op's sister would be more successful if they were on an even playing field. So the friend constantly needs to remind herself that she's in a better position to feel good about herself. I've had friends like your sisters. This isn't an engagement party for her friend, it's a mark in the competition that your sister doesn't know they've been having. If they stay friends, every milestone your sister has, this woman will try to have at the same time, and somehow make it bigger, and better, and rub your sister's nose in it. She comes off as someone who is extremely jealous of your sister. I don't know, but I'm going to guess your sister has a loving, supportive family and she has her parents' money and that's about it, and is trying to use her financial resources to show why she's better than her. Your sister has just graduated college, is dealing with an immunocompromised future spouse and medical bills, and potentially doesn't have her parents, as you mentioned inheritance and no comment about your parents saying anything on this matter? She doesn't need this person as a friend on top of that stress. Hell, send her my way. I need new friends who are awesome and I don't pull this crap on them. I thought this story was going to be about them boasting it to Op. Not humiliating the sister, not the butthole. She's the type to give condescending lectures about how easy it is to get out of poverty and all you have to do is work hard and pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Never having pulled the bootstraps herself. SMH. She probably has a maid to tie her shoelaces, laughing out loud seriously, though this woman graduated 8 years ago and has never had a job but is planning a big wedding and looking down on people who can't afford the same things her parents can give her. The audacity levels are off the chart with this butthole. Probably thinks that pulling the bootstraps is the same as pulling the Blundstone tabs. NTA, you got to smack some people with the truth sometimes. Why she talk crap to your sis at her own wedding though? This indeed, I don't understand. Like, does she still has some issues towards your sister? Does she think there's a competition going on, in her head, and she wants to be on top no matter what? Could it be it's because her fiancé is in medical trouble and has the sympathy card in her eyes and she doesn't want that attention going towards them anymore? Also, I think as a lot of rich people can understand, a small party is also smart. It's quite stupid to have a big wedding just because they are rich. Anybody sane and financial smart can tell you it's a stupid investment to have such lavish wedding ceremonies when there's no need of it. I don't understand. Like, does she still has some issues towards your sister? I don't get it either. It was a really hateful and spiteful speech. Why attack Op's sister like that in front of everyone? She thought she was showing up Op's sister, but really she outed herself as an awful person. Imagine being so far up your own ass that you use your speech at your own engagement party to publicly shame one of your friends. God, I hate this person and I don't even know them. How could anyone at that party attend the wedding with that in mind? The fiancé should even head for the hills. I don't think it was a wedding, just an engagement party. NTA, she opened that door, and in front of everyone. And you responded with truth. You sound like a great sister. This. So much this. Slight edit, if I may. You are an awesome sister. Totally agree. Exactly. This is loyalty. I wish I had loyal sisters like this. Amazing. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.